What's good? What's good? It's the one and only, but what do I know? Boxing coming back at y'all with another one, man. So I was asked a question by a subscriber, basically wondering, well, they asked me, do I feel like boxing fans are the reason for the downfall in boxing? And you know, I'm gonna go ahead and answer that question. But first of all, before I even answer it, man, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Any questions that you guys have for me, or you guys want my personal opinion on, don't hesitate to drop in the comment section, and I will get at it, man. But yeah, so I was asked, man, do I feel like fans are the reason why boxing is going downhill? Well, yes and no. Because without fans, you know, first and foremost, let me state this. Without fans, you know, we don't have any boxing. You know what I'm saying? Like, or you know, and that's with anything. You know, if you don't have a fan base, you're not gonna have anything. No, you're gonna be wasting money. Nobody's gonna invest money in you. It's gonna be no money made. So, you know. But what I think that what I think it is like, you know, do I think boxing has a solid fan base? Yes. But the problem is, one of the problems is boxing. I don't want to say boxing. I feel like boxing caters to the cat. Like, I don't want to say boxing catering to the casual is the problem, because the casuals is what's gonna pay. But I often think boxing forgets the core fans. Its core fans. And the fans themselves, where if the fans of boxing were to, if we were to come together, but because boxing is so divided, it's impossible. Boxing is a very, very, very opinionated sport, and with that being said, it's also divided by race and culture and all that. And where, if you know, it's almost crazy. I remember a long time ago, man, this was like in 2000, I think it was like in 2020, somebody had called me a coon because I said I'm going for Caleb Plant. Who was Caleb Plant? I can't remember. It wasn't like, it was way before the whole Jamal Charlo incident. So it wasn't Jamal Charlo, but they were comparing Caleb Plant to some black, or trying to put him against some black fighter. And I was like, you know, I'm riding with Caleb Plant. That's my guy. And I remember being called a coon for that, bro. And it was like, bro, how, like, first and foremost, anybody that supports my channel knows my channel. Like, I got history with Caleb Plant. We got history in the amateurs. You know, I know Caleb Plant. I've been knowing him. Where I'm from, we're the one that gave him the name Sweet Hand, because he fought like a black fighter. You know what I'm saying? So, but you know, so of course, if I know somebody personally, I don't care what race you are. Like, I got a brother by the name of Mason who fights at 152 in the amateurs or whatnot. And you know, Mason's a white guy, but me and him have such a strong connection, bro. Like, I'm riding with my guy. That's still my guy. You know, at the end of the day, that's my brother. That's my little brother. You know what I'm saying? So, I think that boxing is so racially divided that it's gonna be damn near impossible to get fans to come together. You know, and I'm not saying, and let me make this clear right here, bro. Like, I'm always for my people. Like, I want to make that clear. I'm always for my people. Like, you know, I always want to see my people do good. But I'm also not afraid to call out my people if they're doing stuff that I don't like. For example, you have fans that are more fans of fighters than they are the sport. And I do feel like that is where problems come in at, because everybody knows that Tank Davis is my favorite fighter at 135, but I do call him out because regardless, like, the way he moves Floyd Mayweather, I don't like the way they move Tank. They only want Tank to fight foreigners. And well, luckily for us though, it looks like he's about to fight Frank Martin, so I'm super pleased with that. I have been getting on Tank about only fighting foreigners and stuff like that, like trying to force Tank to be a pay-per-view star. Like the fact that they charged us for Tank versus Isaac Cruz and they put that on pay-per-view, that was a slap in the face. Tank versus Rolly Romero on pay-per-view was a slap in the face. You know what I'm saying? So that I had an issue with that, and some people, you know, felt like I was, you know, going against the grain, you know, because I was calling for Tank versus Devin Haney. You know, I want to see Tank versus Devin Haney. You know, that Devin Haney had all the belts. That was the fight that I wanted to see, and I thought Tank was going to win that fight, bro. I really wanted that fight. You know, Tank and Floyd, obviously, and when you bring up this whole sparring, bro, look, that was only clips, bro. So it was obviously, because if Tank was handling Devin Haney that easily, Floyd would have been put that fight together. You know what I'm saying? So you know, just stuff like that. But more importantly, you got fans that, I hate the fans that call you a hater just because you want to see what we deserve to see. Meaning, like, for example, with Canelo Alvarez, right? His fans often on my page call me a hater just because I say I want to see Canelo fight David Benavidez. Like, how does that make me a hater because I want to see Canelo fight David Benavidez, bro? Like, you have to automatically feel like David Benavidez is some type of threat to Canelo Alvarez to be offended enough to call me a hater just because I said I want to see those two fight, because I feel like those are the best two at 168. You know what I'm saying? So how does that make me a hater? Fans like that, I don't like, man. Fans that, you know, and I often allude to the Canelo fans because I see it, because, okay, they'll justify Canelo doing something that they'll criticize another fighter for doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, they'll criticize Tank Davis for fighting Ryan Garcia at a catchweight with a rehydration clause, as if Canelo didn't fight more catchweights than any boxer that I know. And on top of that, he had plenty of rehydration clause in the fight with Julio Cesar Chavez. He even had a rehydration clause in the fight with Danny Jacobs. You know, but you guys thought it was okay when Canelo did it, but when Tank did it, it was all of a sudden a problem. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, Errol Spence fights Mikey Garcia. You guys want to say, oh, Errol Spence is a weight bully fighting somebody 2 weight classes below him, but then Canelo Alvarez, you know, you guys were okay with Canelo Alvarez fighting Amir Khan. You know what I'm saying? Like, just stuff like that. Like, that's the stuff that I don't like. The fans like that is what's wrong with boxing today, in my opinion. Because for one, people are not consistent at all, and they have certain standards. And you know, to some degree, I mean, they have a right to you know, some of these fighters that are criticized have a right to be criticized, you know. But at the same time, when fans don't stand on business and they'll just accept whatever they give, that's often an issue. You know, Canelo Alvarez, you know, they'll sit there and tell you, oh, Canelo Alvarez fought this tough guy, this tough guy, this tough. So okay, so why? What's so, if he's just known to fight tough guy after tough guy after tough guy, then what's so different about David Benavidez where he doesn't, like, why all of a sudden the change of heart now? You know what I'm saying? If that's the situation, you know, it's just, you know, stuff like that. Fans like that, you know, is what's wrong with the sport, you know, and you guys, you know, criticize guys like Jake Paul. Now, granted, Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson is definitely not good for boxing, bro. I think that's a bunch of bull. I'm on here. I've been one to support Jake Paul because I feel like Jake Paul gets unwarranted criticism. And sometimes, you know how people will like say, oh, he gets paid all this money, and his fighters that's been in this sport all their lives. But that's because Jake Paul has a fan base, bro. Like, Jake Paul brings a fan base to the sport that puts money in his pockets, bro. It's not like your boxing is a job like McDonald's, where you've been working at McDonald's for so long getting paid $15 an hour, and somebody new comes in gets paid $18 an hour. Then that's a problem. But boxing is a business. Jake Paul brings his fan base. You know what I'm saying? So, but Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson is definitely wrong for the sport of boxing. Like, what does Mike Tyson do for Jake Paul's career, you know, legacy? Like, it's just stupid, man. That's and they try to sell it like he's still the most dangerous fighter on the planet, knowing that Mike Tyson, I was gonna say Michael Jackson, knowing that Mike Tyson is pushing 60 years old. So, you know, those are just the things that I think is wrong with the sport of boxing. So that's just my opinion, man. Hey, you know, make sure you guys drop a question in the comment section. I'll be sure to get to it. But make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think about my opinion. Let me know what you think is the problem with the boxing, and how do you feel like the fans affect the sport of boxing. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. But what do I know?